Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Favor, but my friends call me Faye, and this is Data with Faye. So in this space here, all I do is I share with you my data analysis journey. Okay, here I tell you how it has been, my new skills I'm learning, how the data journey has been going, getting a job, the struggles of getting a job, and all that. Okay, so if you're interested in that, ensure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. So in my previous video, if you've watched that, you'll see why I talked about how I got my first data analysis job. Okay. So if you've not gotten your first data analyst job yet, then I'll just be telling you some things you should be expecting. Okay. Because normally, if you are going through people's advice on what you should do when you get a job. They're like, oh, when you got your first job, try and impress your clients. Make sure you do the job in a false space of time. Submit the job to your clients. Tell you to give a little promises and make sure you at do yourself on the job, right? So that was my plan. That was my idea when I got my first contract. Okay, when my client asked me, how long can you go ahead and finish this project? I was like, oh, I should be done by this time next week, right? But in my intention, I was like, okay, I wanted to give myself enough time frame, but looking at the project, I knew it was something I will be able to do in 2 to 3 days. Okay, so I wanted to give myself enough time frame, but do it in a way that my clients would be wow. So you could do this in a short time frame and all that, right? That was my idea. That was in my head. But I'm here to tell you that everybody's project differs, right? Because I started that project with that idea, but guys, by the time I ended that project, we spent about like 2 to 3 weeks on that project. And it wasn't just because I spent a long time, but my clients also, we had issues with our data. We had to go back and forth on it. We had to take like 1 week off where he had to work on the data set and all that. Not it wasn't about the data cleaning or whatever, it was about the structure of his data. He had to restructure it, like a whole lot. At a point I was like, why is my case always like this? When I've been hearing people's stories, always do your projects in 2 to 3 in the shortest time possible, and submit your project to your clients. Why is my own taking this so much long time? When you've been praying for something and the thing finally comes, and you already have this idea in your head how people have been telling you how it should go, and yours is not going that same way. You're scared, and you're feeling like, oh, hope this my client, is he going to like what I'm doing? Like, hope this my client is not going to start saying, does this person even know what he's doing? Why is he taking some a, a longer time and all that? Anyway, my dear, I just want to tell you that everybody has their own path. Okay, everybody has their own, because when I was thinking about this, I was like, how will I be able to tell my story if how will I be able to come here and gist you guys, tell you guys this story if it doesn't happen this way? If it goes just the normal way and everything goes smoothly, there will be no way I will be able to come here and motivate somebody else and tell them that, oh, it doesn't always go smoothly on your first job. That's what I'm just trying to tell you. It does not always go smoothly on your first job. Okay. So most of the times, your first job, you are a learner. Okay, definitely you've been creating all that dashboard, right? But this is your first real life dashboard you are creating. Let me just say real life, because all that, another thing I want to tell you, when I've been creating dashboard, is usually static dashboard, right? I have a data set and I want to analyze. But this my first job was also my first online dashboard. Like, my dashboard is connected to the data source. So it's not like a static dashboard. This is a dynamic dashboard that whenever my client updates his data set, his database, wherever he's keeping his data, this dashboard keeps up updating, right? So you can see that this is quite different from what I've been doing before, where I just have to get a static data set and analyze on that. So let me just say, like, it's your first job, you're going to have a bit of an issue. Okay, it depends. And another thing is, if your client, if this is also your first time for your client, okay, so this is like two novices. You're not actually a novice on creating dashboard, but this is your first time working on somebody creating a dashboard. So I will also tell you that you are a novice, okay? So this is like two novices coming together and trying to create something, right? Okay. So there'll be a lot of hiccups. You guys will make you along the line or along the job, you'll find out that there are a lot of things you guys have to do, and that expected time of delivery, which you've somehow put in your head that you have to deliver so fast, when you get to an estate, you see that it's not achievable. But you just have to go to with the flow. Keep your clients updated. Your clients, make sure you're always communicating with your clients. Like, oh, this is what I've done. This is what might be causing a setback. Oh, can you take a look at the data set? Can you take a look at the dashboard and see what we've built so far? Just keep your clients updated. Okay. So that's what I will advise you on. And don't somehow feel that because you've seen somewhere and somebody told you you have to do this very fast. Definitely you have to do this very fast, right? But in a situation where you had issue and you can't do this in the fastest time, just like you expected, don't I'm just trying to say that don't feel bad, don't give up. Just ensure that you do your best and give your clients the best of what you can do at that particular time. So, surprisingly, at the end of the day, I often actually got a tip on this client, and he actually contracted me for a second dashboard. So imagine that, with everything I've heard, and I just lost hope and all that, and I couldn't, and I'm like, oh, I can't deliver. You know, I won't be able to get that tip from my client. So you see, at the end of the day, my client was satisfied. Even though I spent a longer time on that project, not because spending a longer time on the project does not necessarily mean I didn't know what I was doing, but we had a lot along the project. We saw that we had a lot that we had to do. Okay, so that's just that. So that's what I just want to come here and tell you. Because most of the times when you listen to what people tell you about, oh, your first job, you just have to give it the best, you just have to deliver on time, you just have to do this and do that. But person's first job and your own first job is not the same thing. It's not under the same circumstances. You're not using the same data set. So the person might you never can tell how your own first job is going to be like, right? So what I'm just trying to say, that you just have to put in your best and just let the flow go. Just ensure that you are putting your clients on the know and just let the flow go. Okay. So that's what I have to, tell you for today. So if you've gotten your first data analyst job and you have any advice for somebody who is just starting out, who hasn't gotten any job yet, then please drop that comment in the comment section, or tell me what you think about what we just discussed today. Okay, so if you've watched this video to this right to this time, then please ensure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Please, I want this channel to grow. I want it to get to a larger audience. I want to share my story with a larger audience, and it's only possible for me to do that if you guys like, subscribe, and share this video, because I feel a whole lot of people can learn from my journey or from my story. So guys, also ensure to check out the Medi Data Perspective channel if you're interested in learning how to analyze healthcare data. There, I teach you how to analyze healthcare data using data analytic tools such as Python, Tableau, and SQL. Okay, so go to that channel now and drop a comment that you are from this channel. Okay, so guys, bye for now and see you in my next video.